Retail tenants in Singapore are calling on landlords to make market data like footfall and rental per square foot to be made more available.
That's ahead of a new bill to be discussed in Parliament to make landlords abide by 13 leasing principles, such as sticking to one rental formula and not pre-terminate leases. Heidi Ng tells us more.
It may look like child's play, but setting up a gymnastics centre like this wasn't easy. The owner spent 6 months looking at 25 different properties in the area before landing on this space in Kallang Wave Mall. In his search, he encountered some unfair lease contracts.
Like for example, the lease agreement, if let's say there's a change in the lease agreement, us tenant, we need to bear the cost for the change, for their lawyer, for their law firm to make changes to the clause.
The new bill to be tabled in Parliament this week aims to change that. Landlords will not be allowed to include clauses in their contracts to make leases pay for unspecified costs. Still, an association representing 1,000 tenants says more needs to be done to ensure a healthy rental market for the long term.
Historically, we are bound by NDA, non-disclosure requirements for every one of our lease contracts, not to talk about our rental terms with each other on pain of, legal action. You could have a situation where two tenants could have extremely different rental rates, even though they're essentially in the same floor in the same mall.
But outside of malls, one coffee shop landlord says smaller players like himself may not be able to provide such data.
We don't own the whole entire place. We only own one particular small unit. So we don't have somebody to capture the number of visitors or number of customers coming into the premise like this. So we do not have the data. The tenants operator, we can actually give them the number of people working here and also the number of units over here and the surrounding.
For firms like Mr. Goh's, such data would put them in a better position to negotiate rents.
So it is good to see what other people are paying the rental, so that we can have a very good idea, when we move to another place.
The proposed legislation will be applied for all retail leases with at least 1 year of tenure. If passed, it would take effect from January.